Hey family, hey family, hey family. It is your girl, Miss Michelle Allen Franklin. Yes, honey. Mrs. Michelle DIY for divine intervention, honey. Because you know there are no coincidences in this world. Only God's divine intervention in our lives. And Mrs. Community Builder, why? Because you know your girl's going to give you the good information, boo, the things you need for your mind, your body, your spirit, and your emotions, honey. And your girl is continuing her series for Women's Month. Y'all, I don't know about y'all. I do know because some of y'all have told me. But this series, don't it just feel good? Lessons and blessings, boo, all month long with women who have inspired and empowered my life. And today, honey, today. Today. Oh my goodness. I just feel so blessed to know these amazing women. Miss Lisa Meta is in the building with me today, honey. Oh my goodness. Lisa! Lisa. Hey girl.
Whatever that energy was contagious. My mouth hurts from smiling.
Oh
Oh my
my
God.
goodness. Oh my goodness. This beautiful spirit right here, y'all. This spirit, y'all know I always talk about being on my very intentional healing journey. And this beautiful spirit has taken me, she took me to a level, I mean, deep. When I talk about being deep in the pit of the belly, she took me down deep in the pit of the belly. We're going to talk about it. But first, Lisa, tell them who you are out here in these internet streets, girl. Who are you, Lisa? Who are you,
You're
girl?
the belly. That's right. You coined that one.
Yes.
Who am I? Woo,
Woo.
that's the big one.
Beautiful spirit.
Today, let's see. My name is Lisa Meta. My company is metamorphize.com.
Yes.
Who am I? I have a lot of titles. I don't know if that is who I am, but I have been a graphic designer, a business coach, a life coach, a health coach, a journey mate, a
Yes.
guide, a mind
Yes.
mastery coach,
Yes.
manifestation coach. Ultimately, I support people to go from wherever they are to where they want to go.
Yes.
Breathwork coach, a meditation mentor.
Yes.
But really, who I am is energy. I am breath.
Yes.
I am here. I am now. I don't know. I've been on the search for the answer to that one.
I
So,
love it. I love it when I think of you. I do think of a spiritual guide, honey. You are like an angel on this side of heaven, like in form, in human form. You are just giving in this, in just this unique way, and like you said, energy. I think Maisha was the first person that said to me that we are energetic beings having a human experience,
mhm.
right? And I think of you as that, like this energy that just like Glinda the Good Witch from the Wiz.
I'm
Like,
really
you know
smiling right now. I just put this mascara on.
that like that aura, like how you remember seeing Glinda the first time she
Yeah.
came down, like, oh, Glinda the Good Witch, like, oh my gosh, you had this beautiful energy and aura about you that's
Thank you.
infectious.
But
And so,
I wanted to let you know, and also I'm sure we're gonna get to our stories. That's a choice I'm making. It
yeah,
wasn't always like that. Like I've
yeah,
I've had my share of suffering and negativity and working through the dark times. And I think that, you caught me and many who work with me catch me in the choice of being positive. Like I choose
yes,
joy every day. And I
yes.
have my dark demons and my bit of the belly bit of the belly,
In
pit
the
of the
pit,
belly.
in the pit.
So thank you for seeing me there and in my
Yeah.
on my journey too.
Yes. Well, let's just jump right into it, Lisa. Tell us, how
Mhm.
did you even start this work? How did you get into this life work, the self mastery work that you're doing now, or been doing for these few years, actually, years?
Yeah, maybe 2 decades now. Wow. I think it was always just a personal journey at first. I never really intended, well, as a graphic designer, I was helping other people build businesses and do their logos and websites. And then
Hmm.
one day I was working with a coach at the time and I was frustrated because I felt like I wasn't getting paid for my value. And we elevated my business into business coaching because I realized I was only getting paid to deliver a logo, not the conversations I was having. And
Yeah.
that's when I started to realize talking to people and helping them work through the resistance that they're having, was something I enjoyed doing. And but I would say, where did this work start? It came within. I I mean, I was sharing with you before, and many times I suffered from body image issues of my whole life, trying to fix myself and change myself because I wanted to fit into a model of what this big society is telling me is beautiful.
Yes.
And also looking at where my programming came, my family, and where that gave me the idea that I wasn't good enough the way I am. So that journey was very personal at first, and I found breath work, which was
Yeah.
a great way of healing, and allowed me to really come back home to myself, because there was a moment I realized how disconnected I was.
Yes. Yes. I always say, when you walk in your purpose, you inspire others to walk in theirs. And when I started fasting
Hmm.
in 2019, I met our mutual friend Vancito. Vancito was in the fasting group talking about this breath work that
Hmm.
he had done with you. And he talked about it so much as this healing modality. I was like, okay, and then he did his own and you came. And I remember the very first time, I don't know what it was, but something in my spirit was like, I have to meet this woman. I got to get whatever it is. Cause Vancito he just was so like, this healed me,
Yeah.
in knowing and healing and knowing his journey. And so I was like, if a man is saying this, because men don't talk and don't generally, you know what I mean? Like normally it's a woman, but men, and he was so, just spoke so highly of you. And so I can remember Marley had in a parent teacher night, the night that you were supposed to be in his group. And
Hmm.
I was walking the halls of the parent teacher night and I was like, I got to meet this woman. I'm still on the phone.
I remember that night.
And it was just like, oh my goodness, I was so grateful and so thankful. But tell us a little bit about breath work, what it is, and how, uh,
Yeah.
why you started using that.
Well, I'll tell you, one of my friends, the woman who did it, like trained me and did it with me, she
Mhm.
said, "Oh, it's the fastest way to change." And I'm like, "Sign me up." Because
Okay.
being very cerebral and analytical and in my
Yes.
mind, which a lot of people are, it's
Yes.
easy to outsmart myself. So breath work is a great way to bypass the mind and go to the wisdom of the body,
Mm,
or the deepest healing within your cells and the tissue of your
yes.
body. So I couldn't outsmart the breath. You know,
Yes.
if you do the breath and you really stay with it, it will bring to the surface whatever is there for you to heal. And it's very scientific. You're basically oxygenating your body. You're bringing the
Yes.
maximum amount of oxygen through your mouth, because you inhale in and out through your mouth. It's like an ocean
Yes.
wave. It goes, and just like the next wave comes in,
Yes.
this type of body breath will just
Yes.
begin a rhythm, and your mind starts letting go, your body starts taking over, because we are way too heady sometimes.
Yes.
So it's very powerful in that way, and that's why I did it. Is it really is a fast way to unlock the tension that is being stored in your body,
Yes.
literally in your tissues. When we Everything that we've done is being stored in our system. And
Yes.
so all those programs and our stories from our past that we feel like we're battling against, they're not yours, and you don't need to carry them anymore. So you got to breathe it out.
Yes. Yes. I love that bag, lady. You gonna hurt your back carrying all them bags like that. I say that all the time. Put it down, boo.
Right?
Put it down.
Yeah, put it down. It's not yours is actually during the breathing I do in groups. That's one of the chants that I have everyone do. It's not mine. It's not
Yes.
mine, because we are all carrying so much of that
Yes.
baggage.
Yes. Like you said, you don't even realize it's something so simple because somebody out there like breathing, breath work, what?
Really?
Like for real? No, for real. For real.
Actually, yeah.
Like for real.
We say get high on your own supply,
That's that part. I like that.
because it's true. I mean,
Yes.
you have a feeling of euphoria, and you're waking up. I mean, think about it. You're waking up all the cells and the
Yes.
oxygen in your body, and the blood is
Yes.
flowing. It's like we're sleeping most of the time in our lives.
Yes. Yes. It is getting very intentional, And like Lisa said, it's a choice. When I understood, I was doing Lisa's 90-day program, and it was almost like a light bulb went off in my head every day. I mean, every week she would give us a word. Was it every day?
We
Every
had
day.
weekly themes.
Every week she would give us a word to focus on. And when we got to choice, as if I had never heard the word choice before, but when we got to choice, it was like a light bulb went off, and I think because all my life I hadn't felt like I had choices. I didn't feel, or I never looked at it like that. Like just to break it down to the simplest form, you have a choice. I have a choice on how I respond. I have a choice on if I respond. I have a choice on like all of it. And
Mhm.
I remember listening in that 90 days of change, and I was like, wait, oh, I have a choice. Oh,
Mhm.
I do have a choice. To asking myself to like it was a realization that I just did not have.
Mhm.
I mean, it was that crisp, and it just got so clear all of a sudden. Like
Yeah.
the word choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a powerful one. You always have a choice. That's the 30 days to change program. That's a word a day. And that was inside of our 90-day program called
Yes.
Rise, which is about
Yes.
elevating, to your next level. And I think where you and I meet is the word intentional, because
Yes.
I think being intentional in your life, especially when it comes to what words you're using, because every
Yes.
word has a vibration. And so a lot of what I do teach is that everything is traveling with its counterpart. So if in this moment you are feeling, let's say, sadness, it's okay to feel it, but just know joy is right there on the other side. At any given moment in time, you flip it over and you
Yes.
can be in the joy. You can indulge in your sadness right now. It's totally fine. And anytime you have the choice.
Mhm. But
Instead of feeling like joy is so far away when we're in
yeah.
sadness, it's actually always with, just traveling together. So choice has been a powerful, yeah. And like you said, choice to respond, choice not to respond,
Yes.
and getting out of like victim mode, really, like things are happening to us. No, own your life, own your choices, take responsibility.
Yes.
And also intention with the breath. That type of breath is very intentional. You must apply effort to it. It's not our normal breathing.
Lisa, talk a little bit really quickly for the person that doesn't really have a full understanding. What types of things can you heal from breath work?
Ooh, wow, that's pretty deep question, because the types of insights that you can have, because they can be like these momentary flashes
Yes.
that surface up around some programming that you have in your body, around whatever you're suffering from. Because so this is the thing. I really believe that breathwork can offer a perspective shift. And
Hmm.
I often say the things around you don't change, but how you see them can.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter what you're suffering with. What breath work will help you do is see it different. And
Yeah.
that's the healing moment in anything. So breath work will give you, well, it can heal physical pain for one, because I
Yeah.
was suffering from migraines and back pain, and that was really just locked up tension. Because
Yeah.
what breath work does is it connects the pain with the emotion or the story. So you're connecting dots. The
Mm.
pain does not exist isolated, like,
Yeah.
ow, my back hurts. No, my back hurts because I maybe I pulled something, yes. And underneath it is, I don't
Stress.
feel supported in my life.
Yes.
I felt abandoned, or,
Yeah.
these threads are in there with it. As
Yes.
you heal those threads of abandonment, or your relationship to your mother or your father, or accepting where you are in your own personal life,
Yes.
the pain will go away.
Yes. Yeah.
The pain in your body is a messenger.
Yes.
Doesn't have to be there. And I just taught a workshop here in Mexico last week that was about how we normalize our pain. And we are not, this beautiful temple is not meant to be in pain
Mm-mm.
ever.
At all. At
So
all.
I think, I guess if I had to sum it up, it's release, rewire, and reset. We release the old, we rewire the new, and
Yeah.
we reset into a new being.
Yes.
Breathwork will do.
And guys, it almost sounds foreign to somebody. Somebody's gonna receive it, and somebody's like, but I'm gonna just break it down for you a little bit more. It's just like Lisa said with the back pain. When I moved to Texas 10 years ago, after my big mama and my stepfather passed away, and I spiraled into the depression, the anxiety, the panic attacks, starting having panic attacks. I can remember being at work, and I used to have these knots in my back. And I'm the type of person, when she talks about stored emotion and stored energy, we as women, we hold everything in. We don't have time to process. We're going to be and doing. The funeral's over. Okay, I got to go back to work. We got to take care of these kids. You got to take care of the husband. You got to do all the things, right?
Mhm.
Everything is still on your list. You don't take time for yourself to process. We stuff it down in the pit of our bellies and we keep it moving, right? And where is that energy? It's still in your body,
Yeah.
right? And so I was having all of these spasms, like muscle spasms in my back. I felt like I had knots. And
Mhm.
so I would go and get a massage, right? Temporary, very temporary. It
Yeah.
lasted, if it lasted a day or two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It did not stop until I intentionally started doing the work, until I met Lisa, got into her program, started doing breath work and understanding even the panic attacks, right? I could be at work and I would just, okay, I hang up the phone. I would take me a minute. I go in the bathroom and do my breath work
Yeah.
and reset. That is how powerful this is, a healing modality.
Yeah.
Just to breathe, like just to breathe. Yeah, boo. Very intentional breathing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Brings you to the moment, and fear can't live in the present moment. That panic can't live there in that present moment then.
Yes.
Because panic and nervous and anxious, they're all brothers and cousins of the fear of the future or the fear of the past. It's not
Yeah.
ever in the moment. The moment is beautiful and perfect as it is.
Yes. I love that. I love that. Lisa, you mentioned you're in Mexico. When you and I initially first met, you talked about, wanting to be in Mexico and wanting to make it, somewhere where you went all the time and everything. So tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about this journey and what you have manifested, honey, because this is beautiful.
Yeah, I did do it, didn't I?
Yes. Yes, you did.
Yes, I'm here in Puerto Morelos, Mexico, and this is my 5th year here. And I've been
Yes.
coming every year for 4 to 6 months, January through, I'll be here till end of May this time. And when something is in alignment, it happens. Yes, you met me when I was manifesting it, and manifesting has many forms. And the form that I was in when I met you was just talking about it all the time, because I really think that that's step one is just
Yes.
speak it into existence.
Speak it.
So then when I got here, I offered private retreats and they filled up right away. And I'm like, oh my gosh, another sign that things are aligning. And
Yes.
then the private retreats turned to group retreats where I'm offering all these things that we were talking about. And
Yes.
then this year has been really special. I have some private retreats, but I'm also creating weekly community events called Manifest and Mingle. And it's just so meaningful to me because I'm finally creating a family here. Like, I love when you said, hey, family, hey, family. And I
Yes.
feel like this is a special time for me to be connecting in that way. I live right here on the beach, so I'm very connected to nature while I'm here. The
Yes.
wisdom of the sun, the ocean, the
Mm.
waves, we have the jungle. It's very feminine for me because I feel like I'm wearing dresses. I
Yeah.
am automatically dropping into a different energy versus my New York go, go, go.
Yes.
So, Mexico, yeah, this is a realized dream.
I love that. I just love that. I love that. I love when you said messages from the sun, honey.
Hmm.
I didn't even realize how powerful. Like, you hear about it, but I remember being on the beach in Jamaica, and that was the first time that I felt the energy. Like as I watched the sunset and
Hmm.
the ocean, it was like it was talking to me. And the moon came up. Oh,
Yeah.
honey. Oh, it's powerful. It's so powerful. So to experience that every day,
Mhm.
oh,
I mean, I always say nature is my guru,
yeah.
and there's so much to learn from nature.
Yes, yes. I love this for you, honey. I love this. I love hearing people talk about their dreams and what they want to do, and then to see it, it brings me so much joy.
Me too.
I love this for you. I love it. I love it. I love it. Look, I'm coming. Look, I'm coming.
Let's
I'm coming
go.
soon. Look, I'm coming soon.
Bring that bright,
Get out
shiny
there in
stuff
the
in.
atmosphere. I'm coming. So I want you to talk about, we were talking earlier, and you was talking a little bit about your journey and where you are now with food and
Mm,
what you're doing now. I think this is such an important conversation. There
yeah.
are so many women that struggle, with body image. You said that earlier, with self-esteem and losing weight and gaining weight and all of the things in between and the
Yeah.
and the choices with that, shame and guilt and all of the stuff,
Mhm.
you know? Tell us about that journey and where you at right now with
Yeah, where to
this.
start? Well, I mean, I'll just riff right off of those last two words, the shame and the guilt.
Yes.
I was very, I had so much of that. What am I going to eat during when I'm eating, after I'm eating? And then it was such a cycle that one of my missions was, can I live a life that doesn't have that? Like, can I get to the point where I'm making healthy choices and after I eat, there isn't this conversation of berating myself or was that
Yes.
the right thing to eat? Did I
Yeah.
do good? Am I still on path? Oh, I have to start over tomorrow. Like, all the cycles we go through. But I'm going to back up and say one other thing that along the journey, uh, I mean, we could go into my past and how this all arrived here, and I'm going to skip that and say that once I realized that after I finished blaming everybody else for
Yeah.
why me and this part of
Yeah.
my life, I realized something really powerful, and I want to give this to everyone and anyone listening is that all the struggles that I was having about food and hating my body and being confused about what to eat, I realized this is my journey to get to know myself. And we all will have it. So instead of being like, why does home roll over here get to eat whatever she wants and like me constantly comparing myself to everybody and being
Yes.
upset
Yeah.
about it, I stopped living from the outside in and I started
Mm.
from the inside out. I
Yeah.
owned that this was my journey to get to know myself. And that was the blessing. And once I owned that, I could start to relax. Okay, you know what? Some days are going to be a struggle. Some days are going to be beautiful. And it's
Yes.
all just, there's no there. It's just my life.
Yes.
And yes, I'm just like the rest. I tried a million things. I wanted to lose weight. I tried this diet. I tried that diet. I went on extreme exercise binges and I was binging. I mean, I was a binge eater and
Yeah.
obsessive eater. And there's been a few turning points. I think going to Overeaters Anonymous was one because that really opened my mind. In my head, I thought that it was very a physical thing, like it was about being overweight. But when I
Mhm.
got to Overeaters Anonymous, and it took me a while to be able to even show up there, I realized it has nothing to do with what we look like on the outside. There was every shape, size, color, form in that room, but
Yeah.
we all had one thing in common. And what was happening in here was all the same. And when I was
Yes.
like, oh, you too? You're thinking about the food like that before, after you finish eating and you're already thinking about what you're going to have for dinner later, like, or whatever it was. It
Mm.
started to diffuse a little bit of what was happening. And I mean, the
Yes.
journey was long, and I can talk about. I'm very passionate about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell us a little bit. Can you go into this Overeaters Anonymous? I've never heard of it. What is that exactly?
Well, it's like you've heard of Alcoholics Anonymous, so
Yes.
AA, so it's
Right.
OA. It's the same like format
Mhm.
where you instead of talking about alcohol as the substance, food is the substance.
Wow.
You are literally a food addict. And
Yes.
I do appreciate all the AA and there's NA for narcotics, like, and there's even, well, there's a few of those of the anonymous
Yeah.
thing And they
Sure.
have a great format. The only thing that I didn't jive with as much being like the kind of the manifester, words matter type of girl. I
Mhm.
didn't really feel like, starting off each session saying, "Hi, my name's Lisa and I'm a food addict." I mean, some people aren't charged by that, but I want to believe that I can change, and I want to believe that I don't have to label myself that. But yeah, it was nice to be in a room full of people that understood the way that what my mind was doing, and I thought I was very like isolated in that way.
Wow.
And yeah,
One thing again I realized was when I started this very intentional healing journey was just the shift in mindset and how much of a difference it made. To stop looking at things one way and just to realize that there's some other ways instead of having this tunnel vision view of it. This is how I've always seen it, so I can't see it anywhere else. No, you really can.
yeah,
There actually is something else going on if you would pay attention, if you
yeah.
would take some time to get intentional about, that why, make a different choice and look at it differently, right? I love that. I love that. I didn't know. Because I always I joke about it, but I'm serious when I say I'm a food addict. I'm gonna check that out because I'm like, I know that I use food as comfort. Food makes me happy when I'm going through, stressful times in my life when I look back, and we run to food. It's just, it's what we do. We associate everything with food. It's the holidays, a family gathering. We use every
Yeah.
excuse to eat and overeat and all the things. And you go, I know I'm not supposed to eat that, or I know I'm supposed to, then you're feeling guilty and all of the things, you know.
Yeah, and that's why it's not really our fault because of what you
Yeah.
said. All the holidays support the food, and it's
Yeah.
also a way that we've been trained to connect with other people. Like that's it's a big it's a beautiful journey of unfolding if you choose to go and look. So one of the very important questions to ask ourselves, or that I ask myself, is, well, who am I without the food? Or who am I without being a food addict? And when you did fasting, you probably came up against realizing, wait a minute, if you're not eating in those times, you have a lot of space in your mind to do other things, and even time in
Exactly.
your life to do other things. So
Exactly.
it's not the food, it's what are we actually avoiding,
Right.
which is our passions and our hobbies, and
Right.
taking action on those things that might feel scary in our life, but
Yeah.
instead we just kind of distract ourselves with food. Because
Yeah.
the truth is, when you're living in a very high frequency, you actually don't even need that much food. Like food, the transition that I've made recently is, if you can really get to a point where you see food as fuel,
Mhm.
you start to see it very differently. You see the things that are sugary very differently,
Yeah.
because you think those can't be good for my fuel, like to help my body actually be the engine it needs to be.
Right.
You see that you don't need a lot because it weighs you down. I mean, everyone has their own journey with it, but we don't really need that much food in a day.
That's very true. That's very true. That is one of the things that I realized because when I started getting very focused, um, going on 21-day water fast, going on multiple, you know what I mean? Or going on a 42-day water fast, like,
You did 42 days?
oh yeah, that was my
I'm
birthday
trying to do
present.
2 days right now, and I'm like, like I can see the resistance, and it's insane what's
Oh,
happening.
listen, you cannot do a journey like that by yourself. Like, I mean, you could try, but as you can see, it's not. No, you need to be in a group where you're supported because that's what everybody has the same mindset, and
That's
it's a
exactly what I was saying
family.
about the OA. You find the
Yeah,
people with the same mindset. Yeah.
yeah, it's a family thing, and so Christopher Aaron, that's what he does.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what he says.
I like him.
Yeah, and so that's what I don't try to do any of it, by myself. You need that support. Everybody is on the same mindset and everybody is in the love and everything is there and the support is there. And we're all on a journey, different journeys for different reasons, but you
Mhm.
know that and the other part of it is you can't do it just because like I do feel like it's a spiritual journey. You know what I mean? Like if you're just on some just because, or I've never fasted and I think I want to try this thing, it's not going to work. I don't feel like it's going to work. I do feel like you have to be intentional. Like, Lord, I want my life to shift. I want to get rid of some things. This I know is a gateway. You know what I mean? Because when I've tried to fast, like just to fast, like, oh, he's having another fast, let me just fast. I was not successful.
Yeah, well, one of the main things that I teach, like when we, if I were to, the who am I that you asked me in the beginning, it takes me a second, I guess, to get there. But I've really whittled down my business into teaching the keys to self mastery, and there are three, and it comes into play with what you're saying right here. So the first one is mastering resistance, and I would say that, yeah, well, these three things I teach, but this is the main one that if I work with anyone, I want to help them learn to master resistance. Why? Resistance is the gatekeeper to everything you want. So, like I just told you, I want to do this water fast, but I have resistance right now. So if
Yes.
I don't know how to walk myself through this resistance, which might mean getting into a support group,
Yeah. Yeah.
I won't be able to move through and have the passageway to my next level, because resistance is here for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in nature, remember I said nature is my guru?
Mm-hmm.
All things in nature must pass through resistance to evolve. Like the butterfly, if you take it out of the cocoon, it actually doesn't, it can't fly. There's like a fluid that pushes down its body for
Yeah.
when it goes through the narrow hole of the cocoon for it to be able to have the strength. Same thing
Mm-hmm.
with the little chick inside of the egg. If you take it out, it didn't get to have the
Yeah.
strength to do it. And same with the human body, with the human baby. So training ourselves to push through resistance
Mm-hmm.
is like the key to mastering self
Yes.
master to master yourself.
Yeah.
Then number two, create consistency. Every success, you'll see all athletes, successful business people, they all say it. There's a million quotes out there about consistency.
Yes.
Consistency will get you there. You just got to keep it. Why? Also, because every day you have to push through the resistance to stay consistent.
Yes.
And the
Yeah.
third one is an unlikely one that I finally downloaded. It came to me, and it's embrace enthusiasm, which has so much to do with choosing the type of energy that you bring into a room, that you show up with, that you
Yes.
are.
Yes.
You have a choice. You can walk in with,
Yes.
poo poo face,
Yes.
or you can light up a room with a smile, and it has nothing to do with your body shape. And that's the thing that
Yes.
we have to switch, right?
Yes.
Beauty is a smile, not a shape.
Yes. I know I have people that would say to me, in my past, and they were like, why is anything ever wrong with you? Like, do you ever, why are you always so happy? Why are you always so, and I'm like, it's a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You don't understand. I just had a panic attack an hour ago and I
Mm.
still made it here.
Yep.
So yeah, when I've been fighting demons, baby. I've been at war. and
That's
I
actually
and
why
I
you're
made
strong.
it. So yeah, I ain't gonna get here and be upset. No, I'm getting here like, girl, I made it. I'm here. Hey, y'all. You understand. You know what I mean? Like people are so judgmental and so, you know what I mean? And
That's
just
the beauty of dualities. Like when you experience a panic attack, it makes you
yes,
appreciate when you're in, the, you know,
yes,
balance exists because of its polarities.
yes,
So you have this beautiful spectrum of emotions that you've experienced.
yes.
But when you're in a good mood, you're going to own it because you know what is over there.
I know what's over there. I know what's over there. And then it was like, this past 10 years has just been, just really, Lisa, all life altering for me. And so I just would have never thought, but I just embraced the journey because I understand now. Before I was like, Lord, why? Why am I going through all this? Why me? All of the things. But now it's why not me? He has a work for me to do because he knew that I was going to use and
Yeah,
teach and come back and pull somebody else, get my Harriet Tubman on and come on, boo, I made it free. Let me come help you get free. You know what I
right.
mean? We breaking chains and shackles over here. That's what we doing. And so I had to go through, I had to endure, I had to. You know how many people I've met? I'm on the phones, I'm walking, I'm teaching, I'm doing all the things, and people are coming up and I share my story. Or even just the patients that I'm talking to on the phone, and I can relate and have empathy. People are like, I've never had anybody say this to me. I've talked to this people and that people and all of the things. Like, and I'm like, okay, Lord, I understand now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Understanding why you're going through what you're going through and the journey and all of where you are. And you helped me with that, Lisa. You know what I mean? You helped me get to that. I will never forget at the end of the program, and you would pull cards. What's the name of the cards you pulled, Lisa?
The Osho deck. I have it right here. You want me to get a card for you?
Yes.
So tell me, what did we do? What did
Yes.
you pull?
I'm thinking 14 is what popped in my head when you
No,
said,
but what was the story you were about to tell?
okay. So look, I'm so excited about the cards. Oh my God.
It was this deck, right? We had this one.
Yes, yes, yes. No, okay, yes, I was gonna say, I remember I was at the end of the program and we were at our last meeting, and and you told me, you said, at a time where I couldn't fathom and even think. All I knew was that I said, Lord, wherever you lead me, I'm gonna go. Like I didn't know where I was going. I was really it was a faith walk for real. Whoever comes my way, Vancito start talking about you, then he brought you into his program. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm supposed to go to Lisa. She said she
Yeah.
got a program, so that's my next stop, you know. And
I
I
call
just
that
was
following the thread.
I was definitely just following. I had no idea. And so I did the
Mm.
30-day, and then I came back and you were talking about rise, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this 90-day, you know. And so we're at the end of the 90-day, and you was telling me, you pulled the card and you said the card was black and you said endless possibility.
It's the nothingness card. Yeah.
It was endless possibility. And I thought, wow. And I thought, and as I'm stepping into it, it is,
Mm.
you don't even know when you get out of your own way, right? When
Yeah.
you allow yourself to be open. I was
Yeah.
very much closed. You know, you couldn't
Even
tell.
though you think you're open, there's still
Yeah.
another layer to open to.
Yes, yes. Like if you would have asked me if I was open, I'd be like, "Yeah, girl, I'm open. Oh yeah, I'll try this. Oh yeah." But if you really can't, I'm like, "Girl, no, I ain't doing that." What she say? I ain't doing that. No. What they doing?
Yeah. I love that card actually.
Yes, and so pulling that card of endless possibility, and it just really opened my mind to accept the journey that God had for me that I did not know. Because I didn't know fear was driving my life at that point. I was finding out that fear was driving my life. And so to
Mhm.
go into just darkness, when I relate darkness to grief and pain,
Mhm.
but like you said, to flip it on the other side to endless possibility.
It's actually the void of pure potentiality where creation is born. Anything can be born there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's really important that we create a relationship with the unknown because we stay where we are because we're afraid of the unknown. And
Yes.
actually, that has a lot to do with the food thing too, because we're going to keep eating and keep doing the stuffing because we're afraid to venture into those dark spaces.
Yes.
Because let's be honest, food is our friend, right? That was my best friend.
Sure.
That that food was always there for me. I mean, we hung out all day, every day.
That's real. That's real. Food was always there for me. Yes. Yes.
So when you
And
start to ask,
pain
who
too.
am I without it? You start to venture out into the dark space where you are not with anything to clutch to and cling to. Yeah, who am I without? Some people have to fill that in with a person because we're addicted to people. We, who am I without that substance, that thought? You know, we often have a thought that follows us.
Yes.
For me, no one will ever love me unless I lose weight. That was
Yes.
a secret thought I had for years.
Wow.
So who am I without
Yes.
that thought? So maybe someone will love me the way I am.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like a lot of unpacking and little nuances and stuff, and that's what I love to get all into with people, because it's all about our framing and what we're thinking, and think about what you think about. That's my song I made. All right,
Yes.
I'm gonna get you your 14 right now, okay, from the top.
Okay. Look, when I was in Lisa's program, she would pull a card for us, and it's just so simple. You just think of a number, and whatever that number is, she counts out the number in the deck of cards, and whatever comes up is what your message is for the day. So let's see what my message is. What is
Inner voice. Inner voice. I love it for you. I mean, wait, we have to time out, because
it?
so
Okay.
much of this is about, I've been sitting here and you've been talking about all the past, the rise, the 30 days to change, how I met you, everything. And then I'm like, hold up. I'm on your podcast right now. The thing
Yes.
staring at me saying self love. You had this killer intro where I'm like, what? How do you do that? You're like, you got it. Like, you went through the dark and you're on the other side. You listen to your inner voice.
Yes.
And I've just been wanting to celebrate you this whole time.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
such a beautiful picture of the two dolphins, and it's all about just, it's harmony. This is all about harmony and knowing who you are.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and there's
Take
water.
some card to us, Lisa. Tell us what it all means. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. I do feel like I started I kept seeing myself on the radio, and I started, one of the beautiful spirits, Pastor Sharon Wickware, let me come on her show for, the past couple years.
Mm,
Then I was like, okay, I kept seeing myself. I'm like, just do it. You know what I mean? Just do it. And so January, I started being on the radio every Monday at 1 o'clock with Reflections, choosing me guilt free. We on the radio on the gospel station, local gospel station here. But Monday, when I finished my segment, I came out and the guy that runs the radio station, Kenneth Butler, past Bishop Kenneth Butler, no disrespect, Bishop Kenneth Butler, said, he said, you look like you were enjoying life. And I said, I am. I am.
yeah.
And I could not say that just a year ago. You know
Mm,
what I mean? I couldn't say that. But I am. I am, listening to my inner voice. I
mhm.
am, I had a segment with another young lady that'll be on, Sharice. She said she's 40 and she said she's learning to say no. And I was like, yeah, on the path when you get to know and you understand that that's a boundary,
Mm,
that road leads to peace. And I
mhm.
was like, I found no about 42 and I'm 47 now. So I've been traveled the road. So I'm on the other side. Peace,
Yeah,
baby. It's down the street. It's on that street.
seriously.
No.
Well, I also always say that saying no to one thing is always saying yes to the other, right? So
Yes.
I might be saying
Yes.
no to you. I cannot come tonight to your little party you're having because I'm saying yes to
To
my night
me.
at home.
To me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's all about where you see the yes and you see the no.
Yes. 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 I love that. Ah, Lisa, I love you
I
so much.
know.
Tell us.
I can go
tell
on
us
and on.
I know. Tell us about, I dare not. Tell us about your programs and how they can find you and all of the things that you're doing.
Mhm. Well, so a part of my journey has been to document all of these things that I'm talking about. So I created a lot of audio programs. So
Yes.
everything that you've been sharing that you did with me when we were doing it online, it's
Yes.
all available to everybody. The 30 Days to Change program is downloadable. The Rise program,
Wonderful.
downloadable. I have a whole Insight Timer library of audios. I really think, taking some time to go inward, listening, and
Yeah.
really taking in the words that I'm saying, and going on the journey that I
Yeah.
offer. So yeah, there's programs. You can do coaching with me. You can come to Mexico.
Baby.
My retreats in Mexico are called Manifest in Mexico. Super fun.
Manifest in Mexico. Yes, honey. I want to manifest in Mexico.
I also come to you. Like I love doing I love coming to people's homes and doing retreats in their hometown. And we also, when I do that, it's really fun to look in your actual home, like spaces. What is the spaces talking to us, saying? Do we need to
Mm,
rearrange? You know,
yes,
outer, inner, outer. I'm always playing with with the reflection of who you are on the, you know, the outside reflecting the inside reflecting the outside.
yes, yes. Oh, that's so good. Because a lot of times, especially when you're in a space, like I remember just being deep in the depression, and I was talking to my therapist, and I still had boxes. You know,
Oh yeah.
I had been here for 3-4 years at that point, but I still had boxes all around. In the living room, in the space, just
Yeah.
boxes still like unpacked, and then it was just I didn't have the energy to clean up and wash the clothes. Like I would wash the clothes, I wouldn't fold them. So I had loads and loads and loads of clothes because we was living out of the baskets. I would wash the clothes and put them back in the basket. You know what I mean? So that is so important because I didn't realize how much that was playing on my spirit.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was feeling
Yeah.
some kind of way because I didn't have the energy to fold the clothes, to put the clothes up. I could wash them and put them in this basket, and that's all I had the capacity to do. And
Yeah.
so when you talk about your environment and how it affects your spirit, I felt guilty about that.
Well,
Like,
sometimes it's hard to like make that inner shift that we know we need to make. So
mhm,
sometimes just shifting something on the outside, and it depends where you are. I mean, sometimes even just moving a chair to a different part of the room, like,
yes,
you know, shifting one thing begins the just starts to change something. Like I always say, nothing changes if nothing changes. So
yeah,
maybe moving the chair on the other side or sleeping on the other side of the bed, or I don't know. You know, when recently I went through, actually, I went through a pretty dark time recently. And while I was going through it, I did little tiny things like I parted my hair on the other side,
mhm,
or I never wear red nail polish. So I would put the just do something totally what you would consider not you.
yeah,
And it's just to like jolt your system, like you were saying with the blinders. You're like,
yeah,
wait, there are other ways.
yes,
So parting my hair on the other side, it is an option. I may not choose it, but it is there.
yes,
So
yes,
play with life, you know, be playful, walk a different way home,
yes.
you know, like just shift something small.
I
You
love
can't,
that.
because yeah, you have to give yourself, everyone, permission to go at your own pace, but keep going is the point.
Yes,
If you find
yes.
yourself stuck,
Definitely keep going, boo.
like here again, the beach wisdom, like the ocean is just created one drop at a time, or the actual sand, the beach is one little grain at a time. That's all we
Yes.
have to ask of ourselves, is one little thing at a time.
Yes, I love that. And I love the transparency. And I was going through something a little while. I think somewhere in people's minds, I know I thought my very first program that I went to was a Stuck conference. It was a women's Bible study. And so after the Bible study, and I got some revelation, in that Bible study, some things I didn't know. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm healed now. I'm good. Like I thought it was over. You did one little thing like, oh, I'm healed. It's great. I'm good now. I can go conquer the world. That was just the beginning. It was just the beginning.
Yeah.
So knowing and understanding that this is a journey and it is a lifelong journey. And it doesn't mean that you won't come through valleys and you won't come in. It doesn't matter who you are. Right.
Yeah.
I think we all have our crosses to bear, like we all have our paths to walk. And life is going to life, and it life's for everyone. Like no one is immune to that, right?
Yeah, we're all lifing.
We're life, we're all
But
life.
it's like Mario Brothers, right? We're going to the next level each time. So
Yeah,
of course there's going to
yeah,
be, yeah, I go through dark times.
yeah.
This recent dark time, I'm going to share this because it links back into some of the addiction stuff.
Okay.
I realized that I was addicted to attention, and I'm going to be this is a vulnerable one for me because I haven't shared much publicly about it, but addicted to attention from men. And I'm going to say it because you know what? I think there's a lot of women out there that know they are, or at
Mhm.
least maybe they've never labeled it. And
Yes.
what I did was I stripped down my life. I got rid of everybody that was giving me attention, which I saw was distractions.
Yes.
And I stripped my life down to nothingness, to that card. It's called nothingness, is what that card is. It was the hardest, scariest, and darkest, but darkest in the sense because I got rid of the noise around me.
Yeah.
And I had to face, you know who? Me.
Yes.
And then because I wasn't eating so much, I didn't have the food. And it was like, and I had to just keep going through it, patience, gentle,
Yes.
breathe,
Grace.
to start coming to some questions, because the answers are always the questions. And the questions started to be, what would you like? What's a creative project you can do with yourself, Lisa? Who would you like to spend some time with? What kind of activity? Like, rebuild myself from the inside out, not who's
Yeah.
paying attention to me.
Yes.
And I really encourage people to kind of disappear for 6 months or something like that, the best that they can from all of this stuff. Oh, I got off social media for 6 months during that time. And come down to your core self, because
Yeah.
from there, nobody can touch me now. Like, I went to a dark place all by myself and I got out of it all by myself, that now I'm strong.
Yes.
So from here, I'm so protective of my peace and my the type of who's going to get my energy and who I give my energy to,
Yeah.
because I know who I am. So to answer your question from the very beginning, who am I? I don't have words for it, but I know who she is.
Yes. Yes. She is. Yes.
Yeah.
All of that. It is amazing, honey. The word attention is one of the words that I broke down as well. And it's almost like, man, can I say this? Or can I feel this? Or man, there's shame and guilt again. But it is when you are a woman and you understand that you hold some power and you understand that you are getting attention, and maybe the attention is coming, attention that you want, and then it's attention that you don't want, and then it's attention that, why am I, when I don't want the attention but I do want the attention. You know what I mean?
To
It's
validate me,
yeah. Yeah.
or link into some story of being lovable, or desire, or attaching desire with love. It's like it gets very complicated in there.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
think stripping it out and letting everyone go, especially if they are or were toxic, believe me, the right ones will come back, and the right ones won't even leave you.
Right.
So
Exactly. I want to touch on this really quickly because this is something that I realized with attention. It went all the way back to, because I went through a period of time where I didn't want any attention,
yes.
just from, after sexual assault, right? And so it was
Mm,
just like, I just completely stripped I wanted to be invisible, so I wasn't doing my hair right. I just put it backward, and just would just kind of go.
yeah.
No makeup, no nothing. I just regular, sweatpants and a t-shirt all the time. Or, I didn't get dressed up, right? Because I didn't want the attention. And I thought, but it didn't just start there. It started from all the way back at 14 for girls that get breasts early and
Mm,
have a little butt, and you in New York. I'm in Baltimore. Men, honey, they didn't care about our ages, right? So we're walking up the street getting these grown men and getting attention from. And so it stems from even all of
yeah.
that. You know what I mean? And that how that psychologically, subconsciously plays with you as well. And so when you've been getting that kind of attention for so long, and then you go to something like what I had with this,
Mm-hmm.
you know, um, and then you disappear, right? And I gained like 270 pounds. I did not want to be seen. You know what I mean? Didn't want,
Armor. It's
yeah,
armor.
yes, all of the weight and all of the things. And so And then coming back from that, what I realized with the tension, Lisa, was that every time I went to lose weight and I would get down to 210, I wouldn't allow myself to go under 200.
Yeah.
Before, you know how before you start, you're like, oh, I'm going to lose 40, 50, 60 pounds or whatever it is. And I'm going to do this. And I might be 240 at that period of time. I might be 225 or something. If I got to 210 every time, oh, I'm good. Oh, I'm good. 15, 20, I'm good. Still heavy, right? Still 200, over 200 pounds, but had not allowed myself. And I'm like, and now I'm at a point where I'm dealing with that. Why? What is that? And it was from the attention that I got. I don't want to get the attention. Or what if I get that attention and I'm smaller and then I can't defend myself? Like I was 140 pounds when I was assaulted,
Mm,
right? And so he tossed me around the room. And so I didn't have
right.
and so subconsciously in my mind, and a lot of women are mentally, subconsciously holding themselves hostage, and they don't even understand that that's a chain.
Yeah. Well, so, like you're saying, deep in there, there's a program of it's not safe to lose weight.
It's not safe.
It's not safe. It's not safe.
It's not safe. I
So
I definitely am breaking that chain right now. I'm definitely getting
yeah,
to.
it is safe. I am safe.
I'm
I
safe.
am safe. It is safe to lose weight. I'm not, and a lot of women were afraid of our own power. I have been
Mhm.
afraid of my power. I've had to like see like a faucet, like
Mhm.
slowly turning it on. I also kept weight on because I was afraid of how fly I'm going to be.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, that's a lot of power to hold. And, we are sexual beings and we already have enough issues out here with how women, powerful, sexy, beautiful women are being seen. And yeah,
Yeah.
we, we can
Yeah.
do it. We're doing it and
Yeah.
it's safe. We are
Yeah.
safe. And that's why when you come back home, you were asking me, what can breath work help?
Yes.
Inside out. You must live from the inside out. All that attention is outside in. To use any of it, even if you perceive it as negative, you're using it to create or perpetuate a story.
Yes.
And really, this it's got to be from the inside out. Like
Yes.
I am enough, and I am powerful, and I am beautiful, and I got this. Without any of that, and then if you get compliments along the way, thank you,
Right.
but we don't need them.
Yes. Yes. And like you said, and I am safe. You know what I mean? And the programming that we have, and whatever yours might be, right? To the women out there, because I just believe, y'all know I don't believe in coincidences and I don't believe God is a just because God. I wasn't planning on sharing that, but you know it came out. So,
Me neither.
you know what I mean? That's why I just let the Lord, the Holy Spirit lead me and guide me. It organically flows where it needs to flow. But I do feel like it's time, because for me the programming was, when I was small, at least I can remember being at a gas station, and this is what replays when I think about the weight loss, and I don't want to go back to that. I was at a gas station, and at the gas station, in less than 15 minutes, I probably had 6 men try to talk to me. Like it was like back to back to back to back. I promise you, I had men trying to talk to me. We all have people try to talk to us, but I've never had in that small frame period of time.
Mm.
And it was like one would drive off and another one would pull up. And I just felt like a piece of meat.
Mm. It's
You know what I
funny how we think about what we are versus what they are. Like them as in men, and not all of them. So whoever's listening, I'm not categorizing all, but
mean?
they
Right.
they have a more predator mindset. They are also trained in our society to be the ones to approach,
Yeah.
and for them they're also sexual beings, and they
Yeah.
have an urge that we could never understand,
Right.
whatever that is. I'm not a man and I don't know, but like, whoa, that sounds intense. To be
Right.
so driven by that it makes them act a certain way and start, yeah. I'm not making excuses for any any of them, but it's so common that then we start to make it about us. Well, what's
Right.
wrong with us? What are we doing that's attracting this? Yet
Yes.
it's a dualistic
Yes.
dynamic.
Yes. I mean, I didn't have anything overly sexy on. I mean, I was cute, you know what I'm saying? I
Of
had on
course not. You're just a woman
I
being a
was just
woman.
being myself, but I feel like that scene, when I think of weight loss, it
Yeah.
goes back into my mind, and so I was like, "Oh God, I don't want that." Like, I want to be
Mm.
seen. You know what I mean? I don't want to be seen like Vulture. I want to be seen like all of me holistically. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so,
But we can't help how someone else sees us. We just have to
mm,
be us.
yes. And that is the release, and that comes with the healing, is that I know, like, it doesn't matter, because what other part that got me to where I'm at, okay, let me just replay this. It didn't matter what size I was. There's always a man that likes that size. It
Yeah.
didn't matter. It did not matter. I never had an issue getting a man. It didn't matter how small, whatever size.
Right. Let's debunk that story right now because I had that one for a long time. That
Yes.
my size mattered.
Yes.
Whoa, that was loud.
That's okay. But
Uh-oh, here
yes,
comes Gata.
here comes the kitty cat.
Want to say hi to everybody?
What's what's the
Wow.
name?
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon. Hey,
Little
Cinnamon.
hunter.
That's like Zoe. You'll see some of my videos. Zoe just come in, meow. Cinnamon back there, like, that's right, girl. That's right.
Cheerleading.
I love it. That's right, girl. Do you?
Yeah.
Co-signing.
I really appreciate actually being able to share about the addiction to attention because it's my latest personal journey.
Yeah.
And I don't think that people talk about it very much. I mean,
Yes.
I like to talk all things addiction because what I realized is that it's not ever about a substance or a person, or it doesn't matter if you're alcohol or food or man or a thought. It's doing the same thing in our
Right.
head, which
Right.
is we're obsessing and
Yeah.
we've given our power over to it and we're no longer having that choice and control. So
Yes.
who am I without all that attention? It's a
Yes.
great
Yes. I
journey.
love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Look, as we wrap up, my very last question, and I'm asking all my amazing women, is what is a lesson that you've learned along your journey that you can share with another woman? And it doesn't have to be just one, as some people have been sharing multiple, but whatever. But your greatest lesson or lessons.
Oh my gosh. You are always being rerouted to your best case scenario. Trust the reroute.
Trust the reroute. I love that.
I think
Trust the
we
reroute.
fight against things that are we think like seem like the wrong way
Mm-hmm.
or didn't happen the way we thought.
Mm-hmm.
So if you train yourself to just get on board with trusting the reroute and that you always believe it's guiding you to your best case scenario,
Yes.
go on a lot faster. I mean, there's got to be a lot of lessons, but that would be one.
I love
Oh,
that.
and then the contraction is just the preparation for the expansion.
Oh, explain that.
It's the way the breath works, right? When we're in a contracted space, depression or sadness or grief or all of the lower vibrating emotions that we tend to want to get out of really quick, like
Mm-hmm.
bad, we think they're bad. We just have to remember that that contraction is really a preparation for
Mm-hmm.
the expansion, just like your inhale and your exhale. They keep going together. So why would we think that we're going to stay in contraction? No, it will always lead us to the preparation for the expansion.
Oh,
So
that's so good.
can you enjoy the contraction,
Wow.
contracted spaces?
I love that. I love that. It is again Romans 8 and 28 at its finest, and that is the foundation of everything that I do. And Reflections Choosing Me, it's like the good, the bad, and the crazy is all working together. So the contraction is the things that we don't like and we don't, all of the things. But the expansion is where we are in the joy and the abundance and life and everything that's down that road of no boundaries and everything
Everything.
else that we're expanding where God is trying to get us to. I love that, Lisa. I love that. Oh, that's beautiful. Ah, my heart is so full.
Me too. I love you. I haven't actually seen or connected with you in a long time, so it's very special for me to
I
witness your growth,
know.
your shine,
Thank
your
you.
leadership, your everything. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for this opportunity to hear myself actually where I am in my own journey. What a
I
blessing.
think I do think this is one of the things that's one of the feedback, a lot of the feedback I'm getting from the women that have been on because I feel like, you're so busy doing the work, right? And you don't really know even how far you come. Like you might know like, oh, I'm not there anymore, but to hear your story and even to see yourself like on this side of it and to,
Mhm.
it gives you just perspective of how far you've come. you
Yeah,
know, and to give yourself that. Like,
good job.
yeah, yeah, you doing that, girl. You doing that.
I really think it's important for us to tell ourselves good job. In
Yes,
fact, one of my audios for anyone who goes to check them out they're on my website, it says, you got to be your own coach
yes,
and cheerlead yourself on. And again, and not expect it from the outside because
yeah.
you got to give it to yourself. I'm always talking to myself. Good job, Lisa. We got this. Like literally out loud, I do all that. And I pat myself
Yeah.
on the back often.
Yes, you have to. I remember like that very first, you know, mirror work was like the very first thing, and you're kind of, asking yourself questions and doing other things. And I'm like, this sounds crazy. Somebody gonna think I'm crazy. Right. But it is, you're talking to yourself, you're talking to that child in you, you're talking to the teenage version, you're talking to that 20-year-old that made all the mistakes. You're talking to, you know what I mean? Girl,
Yeah,
we got this. I'm talking to my 47-year-old self. Girl, we got this. You know, I look in the mirror now, and even when I'm singing songs, the songs are different. You know what I mean? Songs that I used to sing about, somebody else or for somebody else, or maybe two, I'm singing them to myself.
yeah.
The OJ's Loving You has made my life much sweeter since I found you. I'm
Yeah.
in paradise, baby. What? What? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, yes.
Reflections.
Yes, yes, yes. Lisa, thank you. I know you're busy and you have taken the time, and I just appreciate you. And like you said, we haven't talked in a while, but this is what I say I love about all my big sisters, about all the beautiful spirits God has blessed me to come to through my path, honey. Everybody's like, yes. Getting on the schedule. And so I'm grateful for that. I don't take that for granted. I don't take that for granted. So I thank you so much.
Thank you.
And just, the level of healing that I did, through your program, and even the program that I have today is because of you. You
Thank you.
know, you were a signature mark in my journey. And because you were walking in purpose, I walk in purpose today. You know what I mean? And
I
how
always love when you
powerful is
said
that?
that. Thank you.
How powerful is that?
It's amazing.
I love it. I love it. God is so good. He's so
Mhm.
good. He's so good. Well, family, look, I'm empty. We have poured today, honey. We have poured and poured and poured today. I am feeling empty. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. You want to do a breath work, Lisa? Oh, you
Well,
want to
I mean, I was just taking one breath there. Just thank
like
you. Thank you. Thank you.
yes. Ah, I'm like everybody take a breath. Just take a breath. Like in through your mouth. Take a breath.
You can always come back to your breath.
Yes, 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 yes. And y'all go to Lisa's website, honey. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Her book, The 30 Days of Change, and then her 90-day program, Rise,
Yeah.
was life changing for me.
Thank you.
Life changing, pivotal moment in my healing journey. I'm so grateful. So
Thank
grateful for. I'm coming to Mexico. I'm gonna figure it
Yeah.
out.
Come on.
Look, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna
You
figure
have
it out.
until time. Next year I'll be here.
I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out because I told you some years ago I was coming.
You're coming. That's the
I'm
thing
coming.
about manifesting. You
I'm gonna
plant the
figure it
seed.
out. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm coming because I know there's another level. That's the thing; it never ends. The journey continues, and so I know there's another level for me to get to, and so, and I feel like I'm ready. All
I'm
right,
ready.
boo.
I'm ready for you being ready. Thank you.
Well, family, again, thank you so much for joining us. Thank y'all for supporting this series this month, honey. I told you your girl knows amazing, phenomenal women. I'm so
Ah!
blessed. So blessed. And so y'all join me tomorrow. I'll be back. Look, as we continue Women's History Month, honey, Lessons and Blessings is the name of the series. You
Mm.
can find it on the YouTube channel, Reflections Choosing Me, Guilt Free. That's Reflections CMGF. This episode with Miss Lisa Meta, honey. Look. It's gonna be in there. It's gonna be in there, honey. But join me tomorrow. I have another phenomenal, amazing woman. Y'all know how I do it. I aspire to inspire
Mm.
until I expire, honey. That's what I'm doing.
That's
Yes.
right. Bye.
Bye, y'all. Bye, family.